What it do? What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Benskid here, back at it again with another little show video. And god damn, I went a little bit too hard right there. But today I'm going to be watching a video from my boy Marco. Because it's been a while since I watched one of his videos, because let's be real, I haven't watched. I watch his videos, I do. It's just that I haven't reacted to one of his videos in like, what, 3 years? But yeah, let's see what my boy Marco is up to with his content. So far, we got a video that's 14 minutes and 52 seconds. And it's all about the greed that is slowly killing some, well, nah, I wouldn't say some. Slowly killing video game industries. Which, all I gotta say is, the title alone says enough. But I just want to put my little, like, put a little spice on that right quick and say, I'm expecting this video to be accurate as fuck. But because let's be honest, the gaming community it's a little bit shaky, but the gaming industry is just completely off its rockers. Just like, I have no clue on what's going on with these companies these days, but I feel like a lot of the content that you get these days, they are a lot behind the paywall. Not to mention, they charge like $100 just for like what, like 2 skins and 2 cosmetics and weapon skins and shit. Like, they be charging you over $100 for shit that completely useless and pointless. But of course, obviously, I'm just gonna start the video. Let's not wait any longer. Let's see what Marco has to say, and see, can you open my eyes to the true nature of video game culture as of today.
Video games used to be simple. You'd go to your local GameStop, you'd pay real cash, and then get the full game then and there. Simple as that. But with the invention of the internet, games could finally be played with other people online, giving us online multiplayer games. Call of Duty and Halo were at the forefront of this era. The Xbox 360 really won during this boom. But the seeds of our problems were being planted around here. You see, in order to play games online on an Xbox 360, you needed Xbox Live, a subscription service that Microsoft forced us to buy in order to play their games online. And for the most part, it worked. People were paying monthly, semi-annually, yearly, just to play their favorite games online. To 360 no-scope their friends on Call of Duty, or to drive a Warthog on Blood Gulch. Once Sony finally got their together, they made their own Xbox Live equivalent called PS Plus. And slowly but surely, players are being trained to pay subscription services to play their games online. So that was the new cycle. A new game would come out, you'd pay money for that. Then in order to play that game online, you had to pay more money for that. And then maybe you got to pay for some DLC and some expansions and stuff, so you'd pay for that. In total, it would rack up to being close to $100+ just to play some of your favorite games. And that's only if you played like 1 or 2 games. If you played 3, 4, all of them, it's starting to get expensive. But at the time, it wasn't that bad. The games we got were incredible, and the memories that we made were honestly probably even better than the games themselves. But eventually, companies realized that they could be making more money. And this system just wasn't enough. Sure, they were raking in tons of cash, like so much money. And a lot of these games are held in high regards by both critics and fans alike. But over time, the industry has become less and less about the art of making an incredible and complete game. And now it's all about the bottom line. Power to the player is no longer a thing. Greed is killing the video game industry. So let's talk about it. But first, let's hear a word from our sponsor. Thank you to Fact.
Guys, skip that.
50% off your 75. Thank you once again to Fact. 50%.
Hey, I'm gonna show this code right now. If you know what this is, pretty much as you can see what it says, head to factory75.com. Click the link click the below in his video. Okay, click the link below in his video, which is gonna be in the description, and use this code Marco50. And yeah, enjoy yourselves, okay? Just enjoy yourselves, okay? Even though I'm pretty sure it's like for a discount, I'm pretty sure. Who knows? I'm not sponsored. He is.
10% off your first box plus 20% off your next month of orders. Thank you once again to Factor for sponsoring this video. But now back to the video.
There you go.
For all the people that were on PC, we never had to pay to play our games online, with a few exceptions. There were some games that had subscription services, like World of Warcraft. In order to play that game, you'd have to pay like a subscription fee. Seemed worth it at the time because that game was so expansive. It was huge. And back then, Blizzard Entertainment was a respected company. But eventually, Blizzard Entertainment would toe the line and find out just how far you can go with monetizing a game. Overwatch released in 2006.
I'm still confused on why so many people bought into loot boxes. Like, why not just sell me the cosmetics straight up? I mean, I can understand Blizzard doing that because it'll make more money because apparently people were fools enough. Because I never bought 80 packs. I'll be real. I never bought 80 packs because I just didn't see the need to do so. Because, yet again, all because you spend money to get a cosmetics to make your character look cool, yeah, it doesn't really do anything game-changing wise. I know some people have their differences, you know, like, for example, it's probably just me that see that way. And who knows, maybe back then I was the type to invest into this. Just a little bit. You know, because I also did with Fortnite, you know, I invested in about a few skins for battle passes and stuff, but my stuff ain't worth like $1,000 worth of fucking cosmetics and just you know, a bunch of shit that you can literally use to customize your character. I've never invested that much money into any cosmetics or anything that doesn't really change the game. If it changes the way I play the game and I like what I see, I will give it a shot. But if it's just to make my character look, you know, a certain type of way, if it ain't cheap, it ain't flying with me, yo. If it ain't cheap, it ain't flying with me, because I ain't paying a lot of damn money just to make my character look different. Hell, these days, just like in Apex, they literally have it where I can't believe people actually spent money on spend money on that one event where all the skins, including the heirloom was all just recolors. It was just a recolor. I still remember they turned Octane. They made where Octane and other characters. They made Octane's heirloom. What was it? Purple and orange. It was like purple and orange, and then they did the same thing where a few other people's cosmetic turn it. Like, okay, let's turn it orange and purple, and market over $100. Bam, boom, we making bank. And it's sad because people bought into that shit. I can understand if you haven't had the heirloom before. That's fine. You want Octane's heirloom, but you weren't able to get it before, so you seen the opportunity to get it, so you grabbed it. That's fine. But there are people who actually spent money just because of a recolor. Now I can get it. Not only get one color, I can spend over $100 to get it in two colors. Oh my god, that's such craziness. Obviously, I'm trying to keep it mellow. I'm not trying to go crazy, but I felt that's a little bit ridiculous. It's a little bit ridiculous.
16. And they introduced a new way to monetize their game. The game would be a one-time purchase of $40, and all future DLC, including new heroes, would be free. But here's the catch. Tons and tons of paid cosmetics. These cosmetics would no longer be something that you could earn. Like before, you would get 1,000 headshots and then get a gold weapon in Call of Duty. Or getting all the achievements in a game to unlock the coolest armor in Halo. Nope, none of that. Instead, we are introduced to loot boxes.
Which is the equivalent to gambling. I say gambit. Gambling. Let's be honest with you. This system was essentially gambling. This was fucking gambling. Because just how when you go to Palawami, this is for like people who never been to Palawami, okay? When you go to Palawami, when you do all that gambling, bro, it's purely up to chance. Or so some people believe it's up to chance. When in fact, it's actually rigged. I'm sorry. I'm saying it. Just like how you play the slots and all that shit, gambling is essentially the equivalent to loot boxes, because you're essentially gambling with something that's preset to where you're more likely to you either lose or get shitty options. loot boxes are the equivalent of gambling, except that you actually do get something out of it every time, even though the stuff that you get is pretty much shit.
Loot boxes would be earned over time as you just level up, and you have a random chance of getting a cosmetic that you may or most likely won't actually care about, from sprays to emotes to skins. And back then, when it was kind of a newer thing, it worked. Technically, other games had systems similar to this, like CSGO is notorious for this, but Overwatch was on all the consoles, not just PC. And it was popular with tons of gamers and non-gamers that have never really played games before. Like full-on normies were into Overwatch. And the industry took notice. Overwatch was one of the most successful games at launch, and the loot box system earned them a ton of revenue. Revenue that normally would go away for most games after the game is purchased. But this game had longevity and just kept growing. A little company called EA caught wind of this and completely misunderstood what made Overwatch so great when making their game Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Marco, why the fuck did you bring that game up? Oh my god. I mean, the game is in a better state. I love the game now. But holy fucking shit, when it came out, when it first came out, the fact that you had to spend money to fucking be able to play is... And when I mean to play, I mean the game was so much of a pay to win that if you didn't spend money on the game, like literally in game, you lose every time to the person who spent money in the game. Because the way that they had the system before, for those who haven't played Star Wars Battlefront 2 when it first came out, or if you have never heard of why this game pretty much died, is that Star Wars Battlefront 2 was a good game. But what ruined the game was the fact is, there were these things that I like to call skill cards. I'm pretty sure they have a name for them, but I call them skill cards. Skill cards. They have this mechanic in the game where these skill cards can improve how strong or how versatile your character is, right? So you can actually even the playing field just by leveling up the character cards and shit. Well, leveling up the player cards. But there was a problem with this. The reason why it was a problem with this was because for some reason EA decided that, hey, you know what? We're gonna have a system where if you want the cards to make your player stronger, you gotta spend real money for it. So if you want cards that will allow your player to to actually get a little bit stronger, you need to spend money. I mean, yeah, they use loot boxes, so you weren't guaranteed to get what you... I don't think you were guaranteed to get what you want every time. Even though there weren't that many cards to get with. But it's the fact is, let's say you're a person who spent money on the game, but you don't have money just to give out and blow on some cards to play this game, you will lose every time, because a person who spent money on the fucking game is guaranteed to win because you didn't put extra money on the game. And that's what killed the game. It's like, why the fuck would you do that? Why would you make a system where no matter what you do, you can improve and you're always going to lose to the person who's willing to throw hundreds of dollars at the game? Why would you make a system like that? That's dumb. That's essentially saying the rich always wins, the poor always loses. Why would anyone want to play a game that's like that? That's dumb. But yeah, I just want to explain the reason why this game was good. It had a lot of detail. It had a chance to take off and have a really good fan base. But of course they fucking ruined it they got way too greedy. They misunderstood how loot boxes work a little bit. Well, actually not a little bit, completely, and fucked everything up.
A game launch so greedy, so egregious, so terrible that governments all over the world got involved just to regulate loot boxes.
This game is a Star Wars themed online casino designed to lure kids into spending money. It's a trap.
Gotta
Damn.
love EA. Fast forward, and
Yep,
now
as
we're in
always,
2017
EA
with the
ruined
release
every
of
fucking
Fortnite.
thing they
Fortnite
touch.
marked the beginning of the era of the Battle Royale, as well as the era of free-to-play games.
Yeah, Fortnite. Ooh, okay. See, every game I play, I can tolerate to a certain extent, but ooh. But when Fortnite came out, and I was trying my best to play the game, enjoy it, and they kept on releasing broken fucking weapons, and then you just obviously end up with people who just they were good at the game, they were good, but then but the thing is, they wouldn't play with people that were on their skill level. They will literally go out their way to create alternate accounts just so that they can fight against players who are not that good. And that's one thing I fucking hated really badly. And Fortnite really had pioneered something that made them a lot of money, but at the cost of ruining every fucking game that been released that has this free to play shit.
Fortnite was able to capture a large player base by being free, but they were also able to make tons of money on a consistent basis with their Battle Pass system and selling new cosmetics on a regular basis. Players would pay for this Battle Pass that would unlock them items just for playing the game, and even gave you in-game currency to buy skins, and maybe even buy the next season's Battle Pass. This cleverly got people to consistently play their game, as you didn't want to not finish the Battle Pass, because then you'd have to pay actual money to pay for the next Battle Pass. And if you forgot, dang, I guess I gotta pay money for the next Battle Pass. This FOMO system was really strong, and it clearly works because Fortnite is still crushing it to this day. So EA, in EA fashion, copied it. They released their own Battle Royale called Apex Legends, with an almost identical model to Fortnite when it came to monetization. They had the Battle Passes, they had the $20 skins, but they also had loot boxes because, you know, EA.
Yeah.
For a little savings, Specialist Miller buys in bulk. For
More and more.
Okay, I have to pause right here, but yeah, we're back. He's not wrong. Bro, EA, I don't know who the fuck is running EA, but dog, y'all need a new business model, bro. Y'all company is gonna go, it's gonna disappear soon. Give it about another decade. EA will either go bankrupt completely, or they'll come around, but just not in a way that we expect them to come back, you know. But at the same time, it's EA, so I don't really want to put them on a high pedestal, saying that, oh, they're going to make a comeback. EA, they're going to finally realize their mistakes. No. EA feel like they're a bunch of fucking retards that don't know how monetization fucking works.
More free-to-play games would come out with battle passes and expensive skins. Even Call of Duty joined in on this craze with the release of Warzone. So if you're just looking at this from an outside perspective, you might think that this is actually really good for players because all of these games that would have cost a bunch of money, they're now free. So that's a win, right? But here is the big issue with this system at large.
No. Because even though the game is free, it's just the title of a free-to-play game is just to lure you in to what potentially could be you getting to a position where you see something cool, you buy it, and then you see another thing that's cool, and you buy it, and then it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going. So eventually, you spend way much more money on the game, on the loot boxes or skins, to the point where it doesn't matter that the game is free because you're paying way more money than what you would have paid if the game wasn't free. So yeah, it's like you just got tricked. That's all that is.
Developers always work hard to create games that they're passionate about, but now they have to compete with the Fortnite model, and it's just so hard to do that. You're no longer making games for the players. You're making games to appease the stockholders. New games are being rushed out as unfinished messes, with the only thing that ever seems to work being the stores. And their excuse?
Right.
Well, they could just update and fix it later, right? Gone are the days where games...
That hurts. That hurts, cause it's like when you focus too much on the money, bro. Like when you focus so much on trying to dish out cheap fucking products just so you can make bank, it's like It hurts. It really do.
would just come out fully complete. Games all have to be the next Fortnite. They have to last forever and ever and ever and make tons of money while doing it. Or else it's a failure. And then you're dead, and then you're dead, and then you're dead. So many dead games. I've talked about it in multiple videos.
I watch every single one of them.
Trying to chase
Way
that
too
Fortnite
many.
high, and it's just not good. One of the most egregious things a company has ever tried to do is pretend to be a sequel, just to regenerate.
God damn it. Brother Marco, thank you. You are cooking in this video. I fucking love this dude. He is cooking. Bro, Overwatch is not a sequel. It's just a big fucking update of the Overwatch 1 game. It's just a big fucking update. That's all it was. Overwatch 2 was not meant to be it was meant to be a sequel, but it wasn't. Instead, we got a game that essentially was just Overwatch 1 with better graphics. And more maps and more characters. That's it. It was just a big ass update that people had to spend extra. No, actually, it was free to play this time. Actually, I'm gonna take a step back. It was free to play this time, so it wasn't so bad. It wasn't so bad. It's just that I felt like my main issue with Overwatch 2 was the fact that when I played the game, I didn't really mind because obviously Overwatch, it is what it is, right? But my issue was the skill-based matchmaking. That killed the game for me. I'm saying that. I'm just saying this right now. The skill-based matchmaking is the only thing that killed it for me because I didn't care about the cosmetics.
A little bit of hype. Overwatch 2 was a mistake. We were promised a fully fledged campaign and a complete overhaul of the game so that it would actually deserve to be called Overwatch 2. But in 2024, we have no campaign, one less tank, and now, in order to get all the original cosmetics that you could get in the original Overwatch game, it would cost $10,000. Seriously, somebody on Reddit did the math. It's ridiculous. Really, all Overwatch 2 was Blizzard's way to shift to the Fortnite model. $20 skins, big collabs, and battle passes. But hey, it's free now, except it isn't because me and millions of other people paid $40 for the same exact game. A game that technically no longer exists. So if I want to play 6v6, I just can't. And now tanks are just these unkillable gods. Seriously, more and more fans, as of recently especially, are desperately wishing we can just go back to the 6v6 days. Also, the core identity of these games is slowly being lost. Everything has been Fortnite-ified. So they're collabing with everything and anything under the sun. Every game has to collab with the biggest movies and the hottest TV shows. And every game has to pump out new products for us to buy and buy and buy. Just look at any screenshot or any gameplay of Call of Duty. Their skins are so ridiculous that it doesn't even look like Call of Duty anymore.
Yeah.
This has honestly bled into Overwatch as well. Don't get me wrong, some of these collabs are sick, but come on. Look at Siege, look at Apex Legends. Sure, everybody loves a cool collab. Hell, I love a cool collab. And most people would be okay with spending money on their favorite game, especially if they know that it's being fully supported with this money, right? Right?
Unleashing that intel power. Nice.
Well, there.
Okay, we're back. But I just want to say, that I'm hoping that Marco says what I want to say, but I'm hesitant. But you know what? I'm just gonna let him cook. I'm hoping Marco gonna say it for me. I'm hoping.
Therein lies the problem. There's so much money being poured into these games, but a lot of them have so many unaddressed problems. Overwatch, like we mentioned before.
No, shut up, Will. Let me talk about it first. Let's see what we're gonna cook.
Has a tank problem where it feels like it's just one big kaiju fighting another kaiju, and they're both just being pumped with heals and just damage being sprayed, and whoever loses their Godzilla first loses. It's to the point where people are desperately wishing for the 6v6 game mode back. One of my favorite games of all time, Apex Legends. It has a humongous cheater problem.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Because I'm being honest, I hella love Apex. I fucking hella love Apex. I was obsessed with this shit. And then, bro, I'm telling you, I took a break from Apex for a long fucking time. And for some fucking reason, the moment I joined back in my first fucking game, I get instantly killed, one-shotted by a triple take from across the fucking... Well, not literally across the map, but literally from a far fucking distance. Like an instant headshot, dead. And I was literally red shield. I had red shields. I was fully healthy. Just to find out this dude was literally sniping everybody with a triple take, one-shotting everybody. And I could tell by looking at his little player card, the little, when you go to a little death recap type shit, you look at his banner, you could tell he'd been playing this game for a good minute. To the point where it's like, how the fuck did he not get caught by now? And the cheater problem just kept on. And I see a lot of people run into the same issue to where there were times where I see people that will play where it feels like they're a legit player, but it also feels kind of weird because it seems kind of weird because they get a lot of headshots to the point where it's kind of sus. But I don't really pay that close attention. But one thing I will say is that I've seen way too many situations with people being cheaters, or just in general, players who will literally, and I shit you not, players who this is just me personally. I feel like this is me personally because I know most people don't run into this issue, but I remember where I will mostly run into an issue where I literally be playing in my squad, right? Everything be fine. Anytime I try to fight a player, I try to fight a group, and I got my teammates with me. Remind you, I'm about to start a fight with a full group. But I keep my distance, I shoot at one player, and I focus that one player, only switching my attention to another player when it's possible that the other player is going to come after me. Obviously, my whole team, we find a team, we're going in, we're popping off, and then next thing you know, it's always like one or two teams just out of fucking nowhere, just third parties, it's every time. And that's the thing that fucking killed me. Like, not literally, but that's the thing that literally upsetted me so goddamn much, because if not a single person starts fighting, nobody fights. Everybody just waits till a fight start and then they run towards the gun noises. It got really repetitive. That part really got repetitive. But yeah, cheaters in Apex has become a serious problem to the point where I feel like EA just don't care no more. Let's be honest. If you still play Apex, you're practically setting yourself up to suffer.
Point where it's actually affecting the player count. We are at the lowest player count we have ever seen. Players and streamers are just sick and tired of it. Even the solo mode, which was kind of a breath of fresh air, that's overrun by bots. So people are just flying in and there's like 30 other bots in the game. I'm not even kidding. The game is unplayable. Ranked is unplayable. And you know how Respawn addressed it? They're changing the battle pass system. Instead of being able to
Yeah. Respawn, that was a dumb fucking move.
Use your in-game currency to buy the next battle pass. Now we're gonna have 2 battle passes this season, one for each split. In order to buy it, it's gonna cost real world money. You can no longer buy a battle pass with in-game currency. The in-game currency that you got with real money.
No. You know what, Marco, if you watch this, just know I'm gonna say this right now. I apologize in advance. Okay? Nope. I'm apologizing in advance to Respawn. Cause I'm be honest, Respawn, I really believe that it's not your guys' fault, it's EA's fault. Cause if I recall, ain't EA and Respawn apart? Like, Respawn is a part of EA. Like how Treyarch and Treyarch is a part of Activision. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Respawn is a part of EA. So EA is making the most of the major decisions. I'm gonna say EA is the one who forced Respawn to make that fucking decision just to milk the fuck out of a fan base that literally does not like this game no more.
make it make sense. So if you're like a lot of people and you've spent $10 to buy the original battle pass, then you completed it and you had enough money to buy the next battle pass, and so on and so forth, you've been doing this for 5 years straight, well, too bad, no more. Sorry, man. Sorry. Your loyalty, not cool. Like, you love this game and you were playing it every single season, finishing the battle pass every single time. We're gonna reward you with making you pay for the next battle pass. Why? Because the bottom line is this: they don't care as long as they make money. People will always say, vote with your wallet. And I agree. If there's something that you don't agree with, we as a community can successfully boycott at times. But sometimes that isn't enough. Voting with your wallet only works if the gaming industry worked that way. But now it really doesn't. It actually doesn't need 90% of their players to buy things. It only really needs 10% of their players to do that, or even less. They just need the whales. Every game wants to monetize like Valorant, selling outrageously priced skins to a small percentage of their player base. Gone will be the days where you can earn skins by playing the game. Gone will be the days where you can earn skins through a loot box. Gone.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you respectively. I can't blame company's fault, every company fault completely. We have to blame ourselves a little bit. We gamers have to blame ourselves a little bit for this shit, because we just be buying into shit all because we like it, but we don't see the consequences of how just buying shit all because it looks cool may seem alright, but when you spend a lot of money into a game, eventually they saw a way to make a lot of money out of us, and we took the bait. So hey, I'm gonna say we gamers are also at fault here.
Are the days where the battle pass actually had value. We are in the era of the whale. Obviously, none of this matters because it's all cosmetic, but also it does matter. These are games that you love, games that you pour your heart and soul into. You're grinding to be the best at this game, and you should be rewarded for being a fan, for playing this game religiously, like how it used to be. And don't think that single player games are safe from this. Just look at the Suicide Squad and a lot of Ubisoft games. Some Assassin's Creeds come into mind. They really try to implement a battle pass in that Suicide Squad game. Like, what? And
yeah, they tried it.
Do you have any idea the kind of...
Alright, we're back, and the thing about the Suicide Squad, yeah, I didn't really care much about the Battle Pass. I mean, yeah, I spent money on the Battle Pass. I did. I did. I know. You can call me stupid in the comment section. I was stupid. But it didn't take long for me to realize that shit like this, it just needs to stop.
it's not just shooters. FIFA and NBA 2K have been way ahead of the curve when it came to squeezing every single nickel and dime out of their player base, to the tune of billions of dollars. Not millions, billions. The point I'm trying to make is this greed, this corporate greed, is negatively affecting the entire gaming industry at large. Companies like EA, Ubisoft, Activision Blizzard, Sword of Riot, they all had the potential to make some of the most innovative, creative, and incredible games of all time. These games were groundbreaking when they came out. But now that the priorities have shifted to squeezing just all the money out of their players until their game is completely dead, I don't think we'll see another groundbreaking game from these companies ever again. So what can we do? I honestly don't think there's anything we can really do to fix this. It's sort of a Pandora's box that's been opened. Now that they know they can make all this money, they're not gonna stop. Capitalism, baby! Our best bet as consumers is to just be more open to trying new games, made by indie developers or developers that respect you as a human being. Developers who are willing to create great games without the need to monetize every single thing. Indie developers like Brainwash Gang, who made the game Friends vs. Friends. They're super against pay to play. They want you just to enjoy the game as is. And it's fantastic. FromSoft could easily just monetize everything and make billions of dollars, but they don't, because they're dope. Shout out the developers of Baldur's Gate. Like, they could have easily just created non-stop DLC, pay to win stuff. Like, it could have been a whole thing, but they didn't, and that's great. There's plenty of great games out there, and plenty of games that respect you as a person, where it's and not just as a consumer. So maybe it's time for us to just pass on from these battle passes and finally give the power back to the player. Or we can just...
No. No, don't you fucking do a segment with Counter Strike. I never played Counter Strike because I didn't really like the way the game was. I don't know. The game just didn't look complete. Yeah, pleasing to me. It doesn't look pleasing to me. But one thing I will definitely say though is that one thing I will say to us gamers is that when it comes to these big companies, we just gotta stop supporting a lot of big companies. A lot of like well-known big companies, like I know you want to support them, but when you see some shit like we see like, oh, pay $70 for a game that looks literally the same as the previous one. If you pay for that, you're making the problem worse. Just don't buy into games like that. If it got a battle pass, don't buy into it. If it got loot boxes, don't buy into it. And if you do buy into it, don't be surprised if companies decide to keep going this route where rather than caring about the players, they're caring about the money, because now it feels like these video games are not being made by people who love video games. It feels like it's being made by people who is all about the money. They don't care about games. They just want to make the most money possible. So it's like, really the best I can tell you is, yeah, there's no solid answer to this problem. Marco's right. There's no solid answer to this problem. But one thing I will definitely say is that I feel like at the end of the day, as us gamers, we just have to take a look at the game. Take a good look at the products that are like the good products around us. Or, well, the good and the bad, I should say. The good and the bad. And determine which is worth our time. Which one's worth our time? Which one's worth our money? What game is in it for the players? What game is in it for the corporate? I'm about to say corporate agenda, but that's probably is the right word to put it. But of course, obviously, with all that being said, though, I think this is the end of the video. Yeah, this is the end of the video. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all this jazz. If you got anything you want to say about me or content I'm uploading, or you got any recommendations yourselves, let me know down in the comment section, okay? Let me know what y'all all about. And yeah, guys, I just wanted to watch this video just because I wanted to show something to you guys, and just show you how I felt about the gaming industry as a whole today. I know I didn't really do good with explaining it, but I hope that you watch Marco's full video straight through and through, and hopefully you get a better understanding by listening to him. But of course, all that being said, the original video will be in the link in the description below. Y'all all have a lovely day. Deuces.